Three living creatures in this very quiet room. The first, a lieutenant of the Imperial Police. In his grey uniform with all ribbons and insignia, across his knees lie his ceremonial sword in its blue scabbard and an ebony fan. The second, a lady-in-waiting to Her Majesty. The lady is in green and red with sleeves of a most exquisite design. The comb in her hair was a gift from the Empress herself. This is Lady Shonagon. I am Lady Shonagon, looking at a small rice bowl on the floor in which a spider sits, motionless, on uneaten rice, very still, but not dead. The third living creature. The policeman is looking at me, but I suspect he does not see me, no matter how exquisite my sleeves. Yukinari.
Yes.
You gaze, but you do not see. It is disconcerting.
I'm sorry.
It is impolite.
I see you, Shonagon. The green and red are...
Exquisite?
Indeed.
The comb was a gift from Her Majesty.
And she gave me this fan. I feel ridiculous. What am I to do? Meet this Lord Asaji with a sword in one hand and a fan in the other?
I shouldn't think you'll need the sword.
I never carry a fan. I'm a policeman. And this is not policeman's business.
You are a servant of Her Majesty. It is her command.
And she sends me to this meeting with no
what?
No sense of my duty. I'm unprepared.
I wonder, Lieutenant, is this some kind of provocative game or a simple insult?
My lord, I am here at the command of the Empress.
I am here at a gracious invitation, which of course is also a command.
I cannot imagine any insult was intended.
I confess to having little knowledge of the powers of imagination in our policemen.
I am in power to offer you, sir, all hospitality. Tea, wine, something to eat.
And while I imbibe, are you empowered to fan me with that lovely object tucked into your sash? Is it ebony?
I believe so, my lord. A gift from Her Majesty.
Well now, a favourite indeed.
Her Majesty is generous.
And so is our Emperor. You're a favourite of his too, yes? I'm told that since His Majesty was little more than a boy, you have enthralled him with your tales of bandits, pirates, robbers.
I've never encountered a pirate.
Oh, but bandits, yes? In fact, the king of them all. You saved His Majesty's life from that villain.
We were in great danger. We escaped.
We, you say? Yes. His Majesty, you, and the Lady Shonagon. Another favourite. And the word is you are much favoured by that lady.
The Emperor himself appointed Lady Shonagon to assist me in palace investigations.
Enough of reminiscing or chit-chat or whatever we must call this absurdity. You are a policeman. Your job is to uncover crime, and you spoke of danger. What crime are you investigating?
None has been reported to me.
Is His Majesty again in some danger?
I have been given no reason to think so. My questions, sir, do not directly concern Their Majesties.
Questions. Directly.
They concern Lord Korechika, Her Majesty's brother.
Two living creatures in this very quiet room. A spider, which is now on the floor, in the shadow of the rice bowl, moving this way and that and another, slowly, silently, like a tiptoeing shadow itself. The other, a lady, in red and green, sitting with head bowed, watching the spider. If she were a portrait, what might she represent? A lady spellbound by a malevolent, cunning, eight-legged demon. A woman whose lover is gone from her. A woman whose love, whose one true love has wandered, has been commanded to venture, unprepared, into a valley of shadows, of uncertainty, of danger.
I'm in a rather shabby little room in the east wing of the palace. My dress might be considered rather formal for such a chamber. But then I came prepared for a meeting with the Empress.
I was not aware, sir, that Her Majesty's invitation to you said she would be here.
True enough. And now I find myself in the sole company of a policeman who cannot imagine, who is not aware, who needs the help of a lady-in-waiting, who knows of no reported crime, who has never encountered a pirate and has been given no reason to think. And this policeman would interrogate a palace lord about another palace lord. Lord Korechika, indeed. Her Majesty's own brother.
There is to be no interrogation, my lord.
Oh, most assuredly there will not be.
An interview, perhaps?
You dare use police euphemism with me?
A conversation. Lord Asaji, I, with Her Majesty's instruction and sanction, beg you to engage with me in conversation.
I do not converse with policemen.
May I ask you one question?
About Lord Korechika?
Yes.
About a member of the most powerful family in Japan. About our Empress's brother, her most stalwart protector. Any question must be very carefully phrased.
Is your lordship aware of any rumour of discord between Lord Korechika and the former Emperor Kazan?
Phrased well enough, but somewhat vague. What manner of gossip do you have in mind?
I try to be no dealer in gossip, my lord.
But you accuse me of being one. Oh, please. Do not be daunted, Lieutenant. I'm actually beginning to enjoy this. Our conversation. And I freely confess I also enjoy palace gossip. The more trivial, the more salacious, the more comical, the better. But Lord Korechika now, well, one doesn't associate such a man with trivial gossip. With high affairs of state, of course, and with poetry too. I was with his lordship only a few days ago, and it was of those things we spoke. I myself felt on surer ground on the subject of verse. Politics is more subtle than any art. So many shadows, so much uncertainty. When did you last speak with the Empress's brother?
I have never met Lord Korechika.
But you have seen him. What was your impression?
I have seen his lordship only from a distance.
I suppose even that is an honour for a policeman. To gaze from a distance on the elder brother of Her Majesty, the son of the Chancellor who will one day, if the gods continue to smile on him, be Chancellor himself. The Emperor is descended from the goddess. He is the son of heaven. On earth, the Chancellor rules on his behalf. Do you understand that?
And these are deep matters, sir. Too deep for a mere policeman.
Then why are you here, mere policeman? Asking questions about a future Chancellor? You don't know, do you? You have no idea why you are here. So dangerously out of your depth. This conversation is over.
Very well, my lord. Thank you.
One more thing. We spoke of gossip. However comical, it is contagious. It can run like a plague from kitchen to throne room. From the most humble officer of the state to an elegant lady-in-waiting.
If you will excuse me, sir.
You will leave when I give you leave. Lady Shonagon. Ah, the tales I have heard about that listing lady. Apart from all the lords she is said to have bedded, there was a... Now, what was it? A cavalryman? A gardener's son? There was even, believe it or not, a whisper of some kind of intimacy between her and me. Quite right, Lieutenant. Not to be believed. It was a mere dalliance and I was young, but wise enough to know she was already far too experienced for me. Much too far. And this marriage of hers to a man who it would seem prefers something more of his own kind. But forgive me, Lieutenant, I almost forgot you are not a dealer in gossip. You may go.
You won't tell me what was said? Yukinari. I know it must have been difficult. He's a difficult man. When he was young, he wasn't so arrogant.
He spoke about his younger days.
He did?
This garden. If I'd been here when I was young, as a boy, I would have thought I was walking in paradise.
I find it hard to imagine old Asaji talking to you about his youth.
This is no place for me. I wasn't made to walk the gardens of paradise.
You are welcomed here by both the Emperor and Her Majesty.
It was Her Majesty who sent me into that room to be humiliated.
The Empress values you highly. She is even fond of you.
Shonagon? We have seen that Majesty take the head off a young woman with one sweep of a sword.
She destroyed a demon.
It was human blood I saw.
And I take it was human discomfort you felt with Lord Asaji, a man's injured pride. Are you saying you will not endure a little discomfort, even embarrassment, if the Empress demands it of you?
He was right. It was provocation and insult. A game. I don't know the rules of this kind of game. And I don't want to learn.
And the way you stand there, so rigid, so aloof, is this provocation, insult, to me?
I stand so aloof, as you put it. I keep my distance because I may not touch you. I cannot be with you, truly with you. And you're the only reason I could stay here.
Stay.
I must leave, Shonagon.
You cannot leave unless their majesties give you leave.
You use his very words. And I'll be speaking with him again before I go.
Even if Her Majesty suggested such a thing, he would find a way to avoid it.
Her Majesty has not suggested it. But I know where and when he'll be alone.
No.
I told him I'd heard of no crime, but I sense one. And I'm a policeman.
Yukinari, he can destroy you.
One way or another. I'll be gone from here.
Aspects of the palace. Shelter from changing seasons. Gardens like paradise. The breath of heaven. Shadows. Uncertainty, danger. Questions to which the only answer is the silence of a spider.